Hey everyone, Jessica here and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a great day. I know it's been a little bit since I've uploaded a video and I apologize for that. After the Save the Crafty YouTuber video hop, I had a very busy week and then there was a scrapbook expo in Puyallup, Washington, and I went to that. Then I got sick. If I sound a little bit funny, it's probably because I'm still slightly sick, but I am feeling much better. So I got this idea for a video from the comments from the Save the Crafty YouTuber video hop, and I noticed that there was a lot of brand new card makers to our community. So I thought I would make a couple tips and tricks videos. The first one I'm going to do is how I clean my stamps. And this is specifically the clear stamps, but you could use like repositional cling foam stamps too for this. And this is my idea for a stamp cleaning stand. And what that is a place where your stamps can go and hang out until you have a chance to actually clean them. Before I actually came up with this idea, I would use my stamps and then they would either go back into the packaging dirty because I would forget to clean them, or they would get stuck to like ink pad lids or any semi-flat surface that would hold them for a short period of time, and I would actually lose them or bury them while I was creating. So this is my way to kind of keep myself a little bit more organized. I'm going to go over a couple different ways that you can make a stand like this if you choose to. So what I've been using as my flat surface for my stand is a piece of clear acrylic. And this is a piece that my husband had and he just rounded the corners for me. And then I propped this up on a folding display stand. This is a little stand that you can actually find at Joann's still. I do have it linked below. I've linked to all the products that I could find, so those are down in the description box. So this just sits on my work area, out of the way, and it's pretty small. It doesn't have a very large footprint. I like the fact that it is clear, so it doesn't draw a whole lot of attention to itself. It just looks pretty clean to me, except for the dirty stamps, of course. So when I'm ready to clean my stamps, I can just remove my piece of acrylic, lay it on my desk, and then I can take my drying towel. What I use is a Harbor Freight Tools 3 square foot synthetic drying towel. And this is something that I cut down so I have quite a large quantity of them. And that one 3-foot drying towel that I bought originally has lasted me over a year. For this, I'm going to use a brand new one because the one I was using is pretty dirty. It's been through some things. So you use this just like any other cleaning towel that they have out on the market right now. You make sure that it is damp. And then you can just gently clean up your stamps using just the towel if you choose to, which is great except for when I have stamps like this one. This is from Art Impressions. It's their road trip stamp set, and I'll have the link for the blog post that I did making a card using this set down below. But there's just some small, tiny little crevice areas, and it's hard for that towel to get into, and if you really scrub on it, the towel will actually start to tear. The fibers will start tearing apart. I do store this towel right now in a cauldron, and that's a leftover Halloween decoration from a party my sister had at her house. She had put like candy in these little cauldrons for a bunch of ladies. It was a fun night. My synthetic drying towel fits perfectly in it, and I top it with a Darice watercolor bowl. Another thing that I've had for quite some time, also very inexpensive. I can also store small acrylic blocks or whatever in that bowl. This also allows some of that airflow so that the towel doesn't start to smell funny. So because these stamps and others have a lot of small areas, I wanted to find something that I could easily find locally that would get into those small crevices and really get that ink out. So I picked up the Ranger Rub It Scrub It, and this is something that is really actually inexpensive. It's not very much. I used a large pair of scissors to cut mine down into quarters. To go with the Ranger Rub It Scrub It, I picked up the Ranger Archival ink cleaner, And this actually smells like 7-Up to me. It smells like lemons and limes, which is kind of fun. The only other cleaner that I've ever used is a Stampin' Up! One, which worked fine too. But again, this Archival one is something that I can find fairly easy and locally. So at first I was dabbing the cleaner onto the Rub It Scrub It pad. That's why that top left one is pretty worn out and looks kind of raggedy and falling apart. I think the cleaner kind of ate away at the adhesive that keeps the layers stuck together. I started just dabbing it onto the stamps like the directions actually say to do, and that has been working just fine. I just let the cleaner sit on the stamps for about 30 seconds or so, if that, and it cleans right up. This also works on StazOn ink. It does not get rid of any staining that might happen. So any of those chalk inks that you use or StazOn inks that really actually dye your photopolymer stamps, but it does make it to where that older ink does not transfer when you go to use a lighter ink or something. So not only do I use my synthetic drying towel to clean up the cleaner and get rid of all that old ink, I can also use a microfiber cloth. This one I found at the Dollar Tree. It was teal. I really liked the color, so I picked it up for my craft room. So not only can you use a piece of acrylic like I did here for your stamp cleaning stand, but you can also use the Art Impressions watercolor palette. And this is something that I picked up at the Scrapbook Expo in Puyallup. I wanted it for an actual watercolor palette because I wanted to try out their Tombow Marker watercoloring. I am on their design team, but I haven't really used any of their watercolor items. So this is just a white piece of plastic. It's actually very inexpensive. It's only a few dollars or so. And you can find this on their website. Also, there's a lot of online craft stores that carry this one too. I do like that it is white so that you can see if your stamps get thoroughly cleaned, but it works just the same with that folding display stand and also looks very nice on my desktop. It's a good size too. So for this, I just did the same thing. I took some dirty stamps, stuck it to the watercolor palette, and then I used the Archival cleaner, let that cleaner sit for just a moment, and then cleaned up everything to make my stamps very clean. I also recently got some Tombow markers, so this is kind of how the watercolor palette from Art Impressions was intended to be used, but it does say on the packaging that you can use it for storing your repositional stamps. But as you see, you can just scribble a Tombow marker or any water soluble marker onto it, pick it up with a water brush. It works kind of the same as a Tim Holtz glass media mat, but I wouldn't use alcohol inks with this palette. I would just use it for watercoloring or with dye inks like the Distress inks or Distress Oxide inks. So my third and final idea for a stamp cleaning stand is a actual picture frame. This is one that is hanging on my wall. I took it down and I placed some of the dirty stamps onto it. So it does the exact same thing. It also has a built-in stand because it has that little stand on the back that a lot of picture frames come with. I think I bought these at Michael's. It was like a 2-pack. But then you can get any size that you want to because there's such a variety of sizes of photo frames. The actual imagery of this is from a Tattered Angels. It's like a ephemera pack that you can color. This is one of their large pieces that I colored up and thought that I would frame it for my craft room. So you can make this stamp cleaning stand a lot of different ways, and I don't know, I think it's fun. It's been so handy. If you have any questions, go ahead and leave them below in the comments, and also share what you use for cleaning your stamps. I would like to know. I'm always looking for different ideas, and I know there's a lot of new card makers out there too that might find that information very useful. All right, you guys, that's it for me. You know what to do. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already. I appreciate you so very much for watching and taking some time out of your day to spend with me. And I will see you in the next one. Meh, meh.